Good morning, everybody. This is Canadian Treasure Hunter. It's Sunday morning. Just want to show you something here for if you want to scrap. It's actually old school fuse. You'll see them in warehouses, old commercial buildings. Usually there'll be like a lever type a breaker or a power disconnect, and there'll be multiple fuses possibly, and then it might be a newer style box. So this is 100 amps, came out of the house. This one failed. I didn't know it failed until I took it apart, but I'll just show you how to take it apart. These are copper, both sides are copper. This is brass. That's brass also, so two ends are copper. So what you gotta do is you gotta, one side will unscrew. I tried to unscrew, the other one doesn't unscrew. So this one failed here. As you can see, it failed. But what you gotta do is you have to take out this nut, unscrew the nut, and then pull this piece of brass up. So you'll have two pieces of copper, and then you have a piece of brass here, and this is brass too. So what you can do is, and the other one here goes like this. It actually unscrews like this, the other side. There's the other piece of copper. So, it's pretty simple. Just unscrew that like this. There's even a brass washer there. This one will unscrew here. There's something here blocking it. So I'm gonna take that screw off. Yeah. Anyways, when you unscrew that, this will come out too. So you'll have a solid piece of copper here, and then you'll have a piece of brass. And with this one here, I think there's somehow epoxied in there. I don't know if you'll be able. You'll just have to smash it here, and then you have two ends of pin here. Actually, it looks like a pin. So if you knock the pin out, maybe, but I would probably be easier just to smash with a hammer. Not knowing what this material is here, so I wouldn't want to breathe this in here. It could even, could be some hazardous chemicals or materials in this part. We don't know, right? Hasn't been tested, but anyways, I would just lightly smash this side here and this side. Pull this out, pull that out. And then you'll have a couple chunks of brass and a couple chunks of copper. Not a lot, but like I say, if you have a lot of it, it will add up eventually. But you can see how it failed. It's not even a copper inside here. It's some sort of weird material. I think that's your fuses here. That's your insulator right there. So there's a lot of power melted. Some kind of weird material here. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you. Copper coming out of old fuses itself. Some come really big. Some are like big canisters, right? So don't give them up. There's just copper in them. Copper and brass. The wheels I found yesterday, and I did another job before, and I found in a crawl space a bunch of crystalites. The owner said I could have it, but they're all outdated anyways, they're no good, so we'll get 30 cents a pound for the crystalites. These things, I don't know, could be anywhere from 70 to 80 cents a pound, so gotta be at least over 100 pounds here. They're about 25, 30 pounds each. So I'll take that. I got these crates I mean. These are nice. Here I found, like I say, I found two beat up computers. They were all crushed. And then I pulled out the hard drive boards. The only thing that's really worth anything is the boards. We got this card out of one. And then I got this motherboard. And now if you look at these chips, they're just really cheap now. newer chips. Like this gold plating here, but the pin's reversed, so that makes it more a little bit harder. Something, they're like chip, they're like pins, I guess. Yeah, the pins are reversed. There's a bunch of other stuff here, like things, but anyways, but this chip is worth taking, and you know, you have the socket too, so most of your gold is in this, right? Compared to like the other way around, right? So I prefer to have the pins on legs, right? So then you have all your gold basically, right? You still have a little socket there, but there's a lot less on this chip that I can see. This is a new board too. It's not even a green board. You know, it's pretty basic stuff here now, but anyways, I found a breaker, a little piece of copper like that. So when I took the other one apart, it was basically no hard drives. It was this and a board, a bunch of little wires. Here's these are nice heat sinks here because it's got a solid copper. What you got to do is you got to put it on a vise and pound this out with almost like an old, you know, like a socket extension or something. Anything that like a chisel or something. This will go straight down and come out. And I got a solid piece of copper. A little more lights here. A little bit beat up data cable. It's all cut up. But you know, like I say, you start collecting it here, it adds up. Let me go in my yard here. I'm just wondering what I'm going to do with all these Megatrons. Anybody suggest? Are these Megatrons, can you sell these, or like what's the opinion on them? Should I just scrap them? Take the magnet out, or? But if anybody knows if this item could be sellable, let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this stuff in storage for now. No more TV yokes. This is all my different boards. They're not computer boards, just out of electronics. So what I want to do is I want to start selling some of these transformers. Some of these are all aluminum, so I have to sort them out. Like this one was on fire. It's all aluminum. See this? Both sides aluminum, so it's garbage. So I'm going to sell that at 10 cents a pound. Here's some of my motors and fans. So I'm going to sort some of the stuff up. I need to move it. It's just taking up too much space. There's a whole bunch of wire here. And right now the price is really low, so I got to wait until the prices get higher. Otherwise it's not really worth it. They only want to pay maybe 30 cents a pound for that stuff. And then I'm going to get rid of these sinks too. No more Christmas wires there. I'll probably take get the Christmas wires away tomorrow because prices could even drop out completely. So might as well, as they're sellable, might as well cash them in. Okay, and then here I got some more stuff here. I need to process all this. Here's a piece of copper right there, mortar. I'll sort out the copper myself. There's another mortar here. Okay, I'm going to take it to my storage after, sort stuff out. I'm going to clean those wheels. I'll show you the wheel here, what you have to do to make it clean. You knock off the weight. There's a tire weight there. Take out the valve stem, pop this cap off like that. They're nice looking wheels, but to refinish these, to restore them, you'd be looking at probably about 150 bucks each. It's not worth it. You know, all they're gonna do is just acid dip and sandblast or whatever they do, and they're gonna just maybe repair some of the edges if they're cracked. But it's not worth it. It's way too much tire rash here. See that? Not worth it. I know I got a pair done before, and I spent like $500-600 bucks. They're pretty expensive. They went on my Hummer. So, anyways, pop that off, the valve, the cap, and then you're set. You got a clean cast aluminum, and aluminum is the best aluminum, so it's a good price. Hopefully it's around 70-80 cents right now. Okay, I move on here with some e-waste. I'm going to move it over to my other property. Mostly low-grade stuff, low-grade boards. I got yokes, more yokes. Stuff you see in my yard, and I added additional from satellite receivers and some flea market stuff. So I think I'm going to deal with... I think I'm gonna scrap all those. People are going, they're using electronic balances no more. They're not using this balances no more. They're actually going to LED now, so no one's using these no more, to be honest. Anybody who puts new ones in, it's always either electronic or an LED. It's pretty well gonna be obsolete. There's some stuff over. So much junk here. I gotta organize better, but they're so busy working. What time do I have? You know what I'm saying? Plus, between inspections, writing reports, spending time, a little time I can with my family. So, get rid of the balances. And I want to get rid of all these mortars that I have kicking around that have aluminum windings. I'm going to sell them as is. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to make room for my buddy. He's bringing a fridge in, so I'm going to move that this way a bit, and then put the fridge there. I'm going to get rid of that keg tomorrow. See, look at how much space it takes. You know, it takes a room here, room there. So, anyways. Receivers I gotta take apart, a bunch of junk here. I can take them apart real fast, it's just a matter of having time for it. See, these are my yokes here. Look at the collection I got. These I like to just, you know, stomp on them a couple times, take the copper out, that's it. Pretty simple. Yeah, I found this at that job here. I just realized it's not a battery charger, it's a welder. It's actual welder, so I wonder if that's gonna work. It's all 110. So I don't know what kind of welder it's gonna be, but kind of cool. I got computers there I like to get rid of because I want to put my e-waste boards, all my low grades, mid-grade boards, all my better boards. I keep my house, like all my chips, my RAM, all computer boards. Put all the junk here until I can figure out who's going to buy it or how I'm going to separate it. Even this box here, I mean, you know, there's very little wire in there, but you know, it's still some wire, right? You know, if I just, you know, spent a, you know, half an hour, something to do, but it's more like a winter project. Building I was doing in North Van, there was a fire there at one time. That's why the whole building was gutted and redone. It was redone like 20 years ago. So everything burnt. That's why all the drywall was all fairly new. Garbage up there, you just can't sell those things. I take them off, try to sell them, but very tough sell, so you know, I may sell that as is too. It's just too much. They're pretty gross. If I've ever seen one on the inside, it's pretty gross. I'll probably sell that the way it is, just to get rid of it. Okay, let's start moving stuff around. I'm trying to get to this location here. I like to stack everything along here. I'm hoping those containers are empty. I didn't know what's in them. Been sitting for so long. Could be stuff in it, or it could be empty. Yeah, they're empty, see? So that will come in handy for all the e-waste boards and all that. Yeah, it's just container after container. That's awesome. So I can throw all my e-waste, all my things that I want to eventually take apart, or wait till the market turns around, which will turn around eventually, because you know this stuff is so valuable, right? Just the parts, the components, the copper. You know, somebody will. It's not China. There'll be another country will step in, just because it's easier to have the product right now versus mining it. The cost of fuel, the cost of labor, manpower, fuel, and refining. When you have a product already, you know, basically there, you grind it up. That's all they're doing is they take these boards, they depopulate them, they put them in almost like a washing machine or a tumble dryer. It creates a heat, and all components fall off into a tray below. Then you grind the things up, pulverize it, and it granulates, and it's just like fine powdery stuff, but it's copper. So they're doing it. So I'm sure if China can't do this stuff no more, they'll sell equipment to another country, or they'll open a shop somewhere else. Like I did a lot of research on tantalum, and there's lots of tantalum in Africa, mid-Africa. I think there's some in, I think Argentina or something. South America was one spot, but China owns all those mining sites in Africa. They take full control, so they corner the market on tantalum. So now companies in Germany, they're taking all the old components and they're taking all the tantalum off, because when you have a power and you can control the market, you can make tantalum $1,000 a pound. You have control. If you have something, someone wants it and no one else has it, you control it, right? So that's what's happening. So I watched a program in Germany, and all they were doing is they were just totally depopulating all the tantalum components. Old school, new school, whatever tantalum there was, because they're even saying they're afraid, because now it's I think it's $200 a pound or something like that, $150, $200 a pound. So what's happening is this product is just going to go higher and higher, because as these mining sites are they're in like Sudan, and they're in Africa, they're all the really bad, controlled by, you know, the cartels, the generals are in there, the army, they control everything, right? So anyways, they're in really bad countries to deal with, right? So what you're dealing with now is unstable environment. They could close the mine tomorrow and there's nothing coming out. So, but anyways, like I say, people are fighting and killing each other for this tantalum. It's hard to believe. It's such a rare high heat. That thing, it takes 3,000 degrees to melt this material. Very heat resistant. That's why these tiniest components will fit in like little cell phones. They'll fit in anything that's high heat in miniature, right? So anyways, just a little thing about tantalum here. So I got to figure out what parts. Like these old school computers are going to have better components. All these new boards, like I don't have any here to show you, but all this new computer boards, they don't really have nothing on there really. I looked at them. Everything is just very miniaturized, very little contacts. Very small CPU, very little gold plating. You have to try to find these old towers. And they're out there, believe me, they're out there, because I scrounge along, and like I say, people do call me once in a while, and look at this, I got 4 for one guy. So the stuff's out there, and like I'm interested in this one here. This is gonna be an awesome one, I think. Pentium. See, everybody wants a Pentium 4 and 5 chips. Those are the most valuable. I looked at, it was like $150 a pound for Pentium 4 and Pentium 5. Just the IC, the mother, like the CPU. So that alone is so valuable. It must be just because there's so much gold bonding wires, there's so much material in there to make the value, right? Anyways, gotta continue here. I'll show you more as we continue. Thanks. So I'm gonna cut all these off here. It's a shame here, but like I say, everybody I talk to, no one's installing these no more, and when the old one burns out, they go electronic, or they go into LED. LED is really efficient and less heat too. These create a lot of heat. So, and that's the question of the building that I was doing. Even all the little peanut lights and all that, he said it's way too hot. way too much energy it uses. They're going to all like digital ballast or LED, something that doesn't create that much heat. I'd hope there's a bit of a market for these. I figure I would say probably 10 cents a pound, but who knows? And even at Schnitzer, they want these separated now. They don't want none of them in their metal pile. Nothing in the metal pile. You saw a sign there the other day, right? I guess people were dumping everything there, and they're cracking down big time on everything. Tip here, see these two mortars? They come out of hood fans. That's copper colored. Okay, that's fine. You still have to snip it, like, to see if the windings are copper. They're copper. This one here, every time you see this color, it's aluminum, not copper. See that? Just cheap aluminum. So this one here is junk. You know, if you see it, it's probably just better just throw it in a tin pile or scrap it or whatever. But I'm trying to get 10 cents a pound for this. If they take it for 10 cents a pound, I'll be happy. But when you see that, you're no good. Let me look at this one here. So I have a microwave. This one. Generally, you have one copper, one aluminum, but there's one aluminum there. Might be copper. Yeah, see? Got a copper one here and aluminum one there. It might be copper, this one. Yeah, I think we're okay on this one. This is all copper, both sides. Just fooled me for a second there, but it's copper. So they're both copper, so that's okay. But yeah, you have to check it, because you may have copper, but it's not copper. I have a couple more things here to check. Especially mortars like this, like that one. See? It's aluminum. See, it's just really flimsy. So I'm going to sell these ones. Could be 10 cents a pound for everything. We'll see. But you can see here the wire is probably 10 pounds of wire. But at one point I used to just throw them in a scrap pile. Didn't even take the balances out, nothing. But now, you know, look at this wire now. So it's not too bad. Okay, let me try a few more here, and then I gotta go to the other location here. Let's try this one here. This should be copper. Yeah, it's copper. I'll scrap that one the way it is. Some of the other ones I have to take the case apart, so I'm not going to bother. I'll take this carburetor too, get rid of it. Every video I've seen on YouTube, most of them, all the carburetors are no good anyways. Okay. They all have been aluminum so far. So at least, like I say, that wire should be probably around 70 cents a pound, maybe even a little more, just because it's single conductor, it's a thicker wire inside. Okay, let's see what else if we have mortars around here. Oh, one more ballast. I got a few ballasts at home too, so I'm gonna get those ready too. I might take that saw too, because the saw is not worth stripping, not worth the time. Here's a ceiling fan here too. Yeah, I'll just hold off. I want to see what it looks like inside. I've seen some on video, but I'd like to know. Try it myself, stripping that one. I'm gonna process this. Okay, I guess that's pretty well it. There's another mortar here. Scrap this one the way it is. Yeah, I'm gonna take a bunch of mortars there and see if I can sell them the way they are, like all these dinky ones. And I'll let you know how it works. I'm taking this wire home because I want to strip it home. This is all the house wire, Luminix and different things, so this is good to strip. It strips nicely, so okay, time to move on. Clean these wheels here so that you know they're totally clean, because they may be really picky. I don't know. First we'll knock center out, right there, center knocked out. There's weights on the side here. See these stick-on weights? You pry it off with a screwdriver. Okay, so you got weights there, and that's lead, 35 cents or 40 cents a pound. Then you have lead on the side here also. This could have been really warped, this wheel. If you had the right tools, like those tire guys, it's easy, right? We don't have the tools, but you know, you can figure it out with your tools, right? There. It's also the valve here. If you have a proper tool, it's easy. I don't have a proper tool, so I'm going to cut it off like this. See how I cut that out? Then I'm going to get a side cutter, jab in really good, and go up like that. Boom, instantly. Done. So that one's stripped, because they want to have pure scrap metal. They don't want any mixed up products when you remelt this, create a mag again, or anything they do with this stuff. It's gonna contaminate it. When it's contaminated, it may have a weak spot later, right? Same process. Out like that. Flip it around. Check nothing on the outside. We got one tire weight here. The new ones are glued on. The old ones are hammered in the sides. So we got like a little bit of lead. See that? So lead here. Like a half a pound of lead. So that's clean. There. That's it. Now you can sell a mag wheel that's totally clean. Because they may knock off 5-10 cents a pound, you don't know, maybe more. And I'm thinking 25 to 30 pounds each. You get between 100 and 120 pounds of cast aluminum, and this is the best quality. I asked him why this stuff's so valuable. He said it's high quality aluminum, very strong, high quality. That's why the price is high on this stuff. And a keg could also be, because it's pressurized, so it's got to be a strong, right? The keg may also be the same. The keg to me looks clean. Everything looks totally aluminum. And that's an old keg. It looks like it came from Pacific Brewers Distilleries. That was sitting in that Richmond job behind the barn in the bushes. That was the last, when I walked around the building, last thing I seen there. So I was super happy to find that. That's about 30-40 pounds alone. Okay, let's see what else I can show you.